Alright, fam, this your ghetto news reporter, Maryland Dash between the mirror and the lake. Let me run this real quick down to you. This is my holiday video. Let's see if this pan out the way I think it will. Okay, here I was. Young, impressionable, smart, but yet treated like crap with whoever my handlers was. My supposed to be guardians or whatever and stuff. And because I didn't conform to them wanting to whoop my ass like they was doing on a regular, and I swear to this day I don't know who the people were for real. You understand what I'm saying? I remember being upstairs on the second floor of a house, and it was a table, a little kid's table set. Okay, now I want you to listen to the so-called background. It sounds like gunshots, but it's supposed to be fireworks. Long story short, you can't tell the difference on that. Now back to my child abuse days. When I was I know for sure about 6 years old. And I was upstairs in the house, and I remember it being this lady, and she would put me in hot water in the bathtub and force me to try to get in the tub, and if I try to get out, and push me back down in it and stuff. And I remember it being a table set for children off in the corner or whatever, and it was other children. I remember that. You understand what I'm saying? Now, and I remember them tying me to the bed on the floor, and me having to sleep on the floor and things of that nature. It was real bad. You understand what I'm saying? To this day, I have a scar, above my right eye, and I don't know how I got it. You understand what I'm saying? And a cut on my, arm. I don't know how I got it. So it had to be during my child abuse days. Now, a lot of people be talking about, these so-called holidays and how they was, first, spiritual or whatever and stuff, coming from Africa or whatever the case may be. You understand what I'm saying? They say America, there was already people of color over here and stuff. And I believe, Native Americans resided in America, where I'm at. You understand what I'm saying? Chicago. And Africans came and settled and, migrated with the, Native Americans, learned our ways, and then, got involved with the white people and stuff, and another batch came and just kind of, did away with a lot of the Native Americans, and that's why I'm catching slack today, me and my people, because I'm part Native American and Africa, and I believe my parents were raped by Africans. I believe that. You understand what I'm saying? Real talk. Now, I said that to say, as far as these holidays and stuff, real people supposed to be, not believing in holidays and things of that nature. And I just got through watching this girl by the name of Michi X or whatever. She reminded me of my sister. Just a lighter skinned version and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? For real. And, she talked about what they don't celebrate, and, how Africans, originated a lot of the holidays, or the Native Americans, or, the combination of both, spirituality or whatever and stuff, and then the white people came, blah, blah, blah. But I believe if you white or light-skinned, you understand what I'm saying, almost white, light, bright, damn near white is what they used to call them, like my sister, you understand what I'm saying, Linda Nelson or whatever and stuff, that you're more for, the white person, because, this Michi X, her father is supposed to be white. You understand what I'm saying, or whatever. And they, that Willie Lynch stuff, syndrome, they treat light-skinned people better. Okay, so here I am. Now, I left the so-called abusive place that I was at because, my supposed to be caseworker came, and I told my supposed to be caseworker. To this day, I don't know if she was my caseworker or whatever. Could have just been a family friend pretending or whatever. I don't know how it worked and stuff. Either way, I left that abusive house, but I caught hell, and they put me in the Chicago Sun-Times newspaper at the age of 6 in 1973. Okay, everybody who knows me knows that story already. But for those who don't, that's the short version and stuff. Now, Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't celebrate holidays. Reason being, you understand, if you're a foster child, they don't want to pay for you. You understand what I'm saying? They don't want to give you any money. You understand? They don't want to celebrate your birthday because the money they give for you, they don't want you to have. And me being with my so-called, sister at the age of 17 is when I went to live with her. You understand what I'm saying? But all along, she was trying to get me from various foster homes and group homes or whatever. And I kept telling my caseworker, whoever she was, another agency, DCFS, that I didn't want to be with her because all she wanted was the money. Now, how did I know that? Spirituality, a higher power, a God of my understanding, the same one that told me to speak up at the age of 6, I don't know. I just knew. And sure enough, when I went to live with her at the age of 17, all she wanted was my money, and I ended up going to job corps, blah, 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 blah. I remember, leaving and ended up being with this other person by the name of Donna Marie Evans, the Italian stallion. And of course, it was all set up because they was just grooming me to be either a freak or a workhorse or, whatever the case, because they knew I had talents in writing, because by this time I had given Oprah Winfrey my story, at the age of 17 in 1984. And because of the narrative in the story or whatever, they came up with the color purple. She's not going to ever probably tell the truth about that, but the honest God's truth, that's the truth, okay? Now, I ended up leaving my so-called sister's house, Linda Nelson, due to the fact that, I wasn't getting anywhere after I sent my Oprah my story, and, my so-called sister Linda wasn't giving me no money. She was only giving me $50. I went to my caseworker and asked for more money. She only gave me another $25, which was $75 a month, so I went to job court. Okay, and then before I went to job court, I had met, like I said, Donna Marie Evans, who is now, or was, or later on in life, a real estate agent, a banker, prostitute, a drug addict, all kind of shit. You understand what I'm saying? For real. And in the process of knowing them, which wasn't nothing but a setup, now that I know now at the age of 42, this is Ghetto News Report in Maryland for the past between Mary and Lee. I knew it to be a setup because I was making money selling general merchandise after I left job court. You understand what I'm saying? I went and sold pops out my so-called Linda Nelson house, right? I used to go get pops at Cubs food store. It was like Aldi's back then, but it was called Cubs and stuff, and I believe it was geared more towards, the Native Americans. They call it Cubs due to the fact, the parents was killed off, and, we the Cubs, I guess. You understand what I'm saying? And I used to get pops for about 10 cents and go back to the house, Linda's house, and sell them for I wanted to sell them for 50 cents on the block or whatever and stuff. Hell, I had to walk the mugs. There wasn't no shopping cart then, cases, it was, so shit, 50 cents was cool. You understand what I'm saying? But, the kids, her daughters, my so-called nieces, called her and say, Mary's selling pops out the house. Okay, now I got to take the pops out the house, and take them to the streets, so I sold them for a quarter. Okay, she told me, Linda, why you didn't say no pops for the family and stuff? You understand what I'm saying? It's bad enough you get money for me, blah, 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 blah. So, I had to get up out that house, and that's how I ended up meeting Donna Marie Evans with my niece, Juanita Nelson, the same name, Juanita, as Michael Jordan's first wife, Juanita. You understand what I'm saying? Coincidence? No. All the setup. You understand what I'm saying? I met Donna Marie Evans on the King Drive bus. Okay? Long story short, you know, she used to sell general merchandise. I used to see the people on the train selling general merchandise. And, you know, she told me, hey, I'm not going to be around all the time. You know, you're going to have to do something, you know, because I used to lay around, you know, a house, you know, just, you know, doing little stuff like ironing her son's clothes, making his, you know, lunch or whatever and stuff. I'm talking Mario Darrell Evans, you understand what I'm saying? And, you know, I took heed to that, started selling general merchandise and stuff, you know, pantyhose, socks, blah, 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 blah. One day, my sister, Linda Nelson, told me, hey, I was in my 20s now, I'm going to need your social security number because you out there in them streets and something might happen to you. You understand what I'm saying? I thought that was weird. So I never gave it to her. But, of course, eventually they got it or whatever and stuff, you know, through manipulation some other kind of way. Long story short, they be saying, leave your kids, not me, but now they saying you got to leave life insurance and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? For real. No, because all they're going to do is kill the baby and, you know, kill the baby and, you know, take the money. So when I was abducted, fast forward, you know, after they, you know, made me homeless and, you know, I made a name for myself and sent my book, you know, out to the streets or whatever, rhyme, poem, metaphors plus one song. And, you know, they realized that, you know, I am good at what I do as far as writing and a whole bunch of other stuff, and the originator of rap and, you know, AA, blah, 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 that made life for myself now, right? Mary Mack versus the Fat Black, Oprah Winfrey, blah, 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 right? They realized, oh, shoot, we got to do something different. So they made me homeless, railroaded me May 31st, 2008, and claimed that I disarmed a police officer, which I did not do. Okay. So they just wanted to get me off the street, dirty up my name, and, you know, have me struggle because they knew I did not know what was going on, but I do now. You understand what I'm saying? And that is, I am worth a whole lot of money, and I am a real Chicagoan because my family, they made my birthday, 5/25, engraved in everything around Chicago, pretty much, and stuff. And so I figured that out, and my real Mary McNamara's know I ain't lying, and now my so-called family and friends who I thought were my family, you understand what I'm saying? They know now, too. You understand what I'm saying? So, long story short, family, real family, the Cubs or whatever, you understand what I'm saying? The Native Americans of, for real, once they got your social security number, they can do anything. You understand what I'm saying? For real. And the reason why they don't want to celebrate holidays is because, you know, they don't want to pay you. For real. They don't want to pay you for nothing and stuff. So they made me homeless, and I was real tired, and I thought I was going to go to a shelter, but they almost raped me on a gurney at Rush Hospital in Austin, okay? And had I not conformed, and I was tired at the same time, I believe they would have raped me. I don't know what they did in that hospital because, like I said, I was tired. You understand what I'm saying? For real. And I believe they took my eggs, though, and I believe that's why they really trying to kill me, because I believe there's a child out there of mine, and, you know, whoever has the child gets the money, right? But I'm here to tell you also, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. When I die, we all die, and that's the truth, because they don't want to take care. They didn't want to take care of me as a child. They just wanted the money. So, you know, I believe they just invaded Chicago, you know, killed the parents and left me, and that's why this one lady on the west side of Chicago said, I wish your mama would have killed you when you was a baby. That's what she told me to my face, honest God's truth. Long story short, this video about to end. Hey, don't give these motherfucking shit but a hard time. It wasn't even, goddammit, auto insurance, and now it's all kind of insurance. With that, it's your ghetto news reporter, Mary Leon from Mary in Italy. I might do another one. All right, gotta go. Bye.